is in solo queue.
But to me, I look at Vici and I say, hey, with new Wukong in the roster, I mean, we've got some skirmishing top here that's going to actually blow out of proportion. I want to break down the comps a little bit as we get into game, but I am excited to see it. Cube is that rookie top laner who joined us at the end of last year. He's the 18-year-old who was expected to do great things in the LPL. And this is his chance to show against eStar, the best team in the LPL right now. It's one apiece. We're going to game 3. And it's the debut of Wukong here in a Premier region in the LPL.
So Set does very well into melee. Not Set. Wukong does very good into AD champions now.
Yep.
He still gets the bonus armor from his passive, but now it's increased by 50% every time him or his clone hit an enemy champion or a monster, which means it also can be played in the jungle position. But
Stone Skin is disgusting.
Stone Skin is very strong.
I mean, when I saw the changes, I saw all the MR taken out of his kit, and you're like, this guy ain't going to be playing mid anymore. How does he deal with mages? But you're right, he deals with AD pretty damn well. And he's also dealing with a Lee Sin. So for the side of Vici Gaming, couldn't have been picked really into a better game. eStar, though, we're going to look at the bottom side because they're looking to invade. But a ward is going to spot them out. Xiaoxi, yep, he finds it.
And another big change is, before when he would use his W, which for I'm sure everyone who's played Wukong knows is the clone, it would do some magic damage off the end of that cast, but now it does mimic your abilities and your ultimate, but ooh.
Yeah, in a 3 versus 3, I think for Vici Gaming, they have the Olaf. It's pretty dangerous here, but eStar's still posturing around. Which jungler gets it? Because this is going to slow them down for the rest of the game. The Comet Varus with his poke is pretty big. And this is going to reset. Well, Ike's is just going somewhere else, but so is Wei.
Yeah. Ike's just turning towards his Raptors, which is the right move. Wei threatening the opportunity to come steal with, it looked like Krine pressuring in mid, but just going to back off. I was going to say that I actually think Vici have a much stronger level 1 with Tahm Kench and Olaf as compared to something like a Nautilus once his hook's down and Lee Sin.
And as we saw there for Ike's, the red buff, by the way, still there. Wei just committed to his losses and backed away, while Ike's didn't even go back to the buff. And iBoy and Hung move to lane. In fact, iBoy actually going to get pulled in. The Ignite is there. Forward they go. Wink has himself a tasty Varus. They both flash, but Hung gets the stun in time. No, it's a 1-for-1 trade. Both supports getting the kill. The stun here is Hung is looking to 1v2.
You have a lot of damage coming out of the acquired taste. We talked about in Champ Select that Tahm Kench actually does fine trading into melee matchups, so 1-for-1 coming out, eStar were the aggressors in that trade. And, I mean, you technically come out ahead on the side of Vici because you still have 1 flash left up.
That's right, at the side of Hung. So you've got a bit of gold now into your supports. Both AD carries are walking to lane after that fiasco. And what we didn't see there was top lane here for Cube. I don't think he got forced out, but he has left the lane. Gone back with a cloth armor here in the Wukong lane and is now walking back top. Yeah. He's 10 CS down, by the way, as well. So Xiaobai probably has a pretty big wave up there.
I was going to say, he pushed that wave into turret, so there will be a nice, juicy wave waiting for Cube in the top lane.
Let's see. I know bot's fighting. We want to see the top monkey. But we're still looking at bot, because iBoy here has the shove in lane. Big wave pushing up as well. Way towards the top side, while Ike's is actually down here on the bottom lane in his Olaf again.
Yep. But kind of the best way to describe this new Wukong is they've retooled a lot of his late game damage to being more about the consistency and the attack speed from your E and getting that cooldown reduction on your Q to be able to proc it more consistently, and the damage coming out from your clone, which now does a percentage of your ult damage and your auto attack damage.
Like 70% at max level as well. It's pretty insane for the damage that comes through from the decoy. Also remember that the decoy can use the ultimate.
Yes, and it only knocks up people that you haven't knocked up with your initial ultimate, though.
Oh, but here is the power of it. Xiaobai not going to haymaker back, and Cube gets the trade with the wave against his turret. Now, he did actually miss quite a bit of CS in that top lane, but should be able to catch up here as Xiaobai now leaving with a freeze here in top side.
Yeah, interesting if we would have gotten to see how he ended up missing it, because from what I've seen in solo queue, new Wukong does do well in the set, and we have seen him consistently winning these trades, but Xiaobai going to feel like he's in a good position being ahead in CS, and this could be like we talked about where Cube just doesn't have a lot, maybe doesn't have a lot of experience on this champion.
It's only been out, as we said, for not very long in the Chinese client, but you'd have to assume that all these players are playing in Korea solo queue as well.
Yep.
I know that a lot of the top tier players, like we talk about people like Xiao, who just hit #1 in Korean Challenger ladder. And, you know, other players across the board know the Shy as well.
But I've spent too long trying to collect my thoughts about this Wukong. Let's talk about win conditions.
Yep.
eStar once again drafting the obvious of you're not going to gank mid for the Corki, you're not going top of the set, you're consistently looking to go bot.
But Xiaoxi doesn't land the hook, and now for iBoy and Hung, even with Wei here, is it okay? Because they can turn this around 2v3. The health bars are low. iBoy has the Comet, and they show up big. Right now, Vici Gaming's bottom lane is strong by themselves.
But Forge just forced Crying to flash.
And he just flashed himself under Token X, Crying with no summoner available. You picked it well, Lyric. Third blood, sorry. Going over to the side of Ice.
While Wei was posturing bot side, it looks like Forge was able to force Crying's flash in the mid lane and moving over to Vici. This is what they want to do. When you draft a LeBlanc, you want to have your jungle play around you and look for these aggressive plays. You have Tom Kench Varus in the bot lane. You don't need to play around this. Set up your Wukong for success, we assume, and play for LeBlanc.
And look at that mid lane as well. After getting the kill over onto Crying, which I called third blood. 15 CS lead here for Forge. No summoners available for a while here for Crying. He's walking to the mid lane, but now Forge backing away. As we are looking at the top lane. So after that discrepancy through the mid lane, Lost Chapter picked up here by Forge, while Ike's with the pressure looking to invade.
Looks like he will be able to do... Ooh, no. Xiaoxi just bluffing him. Link not even around, so... Looks like Ike's will just leave.
Oh, double cyclone there. There's the first knock up. Now where does the second one come through? There it is, but Wei's coming in. Cube's in a lot of trouble. He has to flash away. There you go. That's new Wukong, but he's got no items.
But again, he's at his strongest point in the early game. For anyone who hasn't seen, you know, Freak does always put out the damage comparisons. It's very interesting. Wukong coming out way ahead in these early trades as compared to before.
But now, eStars want to pay some attention to this new reworked top laner. Cube just used his flash. He used his ultimate. Is he sticking around? Well, there's a ward here to spot him out, and he's going to demand the attention of Hung, who's walking up to the top lane too.
It is interesting when we just set up that eStar want to consistently look bot with this composition. Maybe it's because they see that Xiaobai is pushing in this lane unexpectedly, does have a CS advantage, and wants to try to find this window to gank the top lane.
Life still available through the Vampire Acceptor as well. Just a note, picked that up a while ago. And yeah, the CS advantage pretty big here for the top lane set. But look mid. I mean, again, Forge has a big CS lead off the kill that was acquired through mid. Speaking of acquired taste, Hung now walking through to help Forge get the shove here against the Corki. Hung roaming quite a lot. He's sticking around on the top side while now iBoy's doing the same.
Yep, both teams just posturing for this Rift Herald. Xiaobai will have pushed in the top lane, so he will be able to move first, and we've already seen Cube doesn't have his ultimate anymore, so that will be a key cooldown down for eStar to force this fight.
Well, Xiaobai does. Herald's going to be started here. Everyone moving up. Important to note, iBoy has the serrated Dirk, so eStars are backing away where Wink only has the Berserker's Greaves. Double longsword in the inventory. Herald continued by Vici. eStars are taking the long way around, but they're just leaving it. They're giving it up.
eStar starting the Herald first gave Vici the opportunity to go mid as a four-man unit, push it in. Crying not able to follow up. They turn towards the Herald, and now eStar have to give it away for free.
And they're going to look to put it down in the lane with the Wukong. iBoy's going to share it as well. So for Cube, who was down so much CS, now Xiaobai has to back off completely.
And we do see a good recall coming out from Cube. Going to walk bot side and not lose too many minions, but...
Well, he's sticking around because he has the Cyclone available. The Dredge line comes through. It's a 3 versus 3 until Cube shows up. Here comes new Wukong. Ultimate through. They knock him up. Sends him into the back of the team, but he gets knocked aside. Cube ults again. He's going to die here, but he trades 1 for 1, while Vici are dismayed off the turret. That for eStars is a defense that hasn't stopped just yet. Forge coming in as well. Hung flashes forward. In comes the LeBlanc. Gets the slowdown onto Wave. A Corki package. Over LeBlanc's not going to work out. Vici continue with the turret.
Just really strange play coming out from Vici with that Wukong engage. We did see how obnoxious it can be. They do take down Xiaoxi, but right now the bulwark from the turret being too much. It did get buffed last patch.
And here comes Xiao Bai. He doesn't have the ulti, but he has flash with Face Breaker. He's going to use it and misses. iBoy steps up and to the side, but can he survive with Wei coming through? Hung saves his life. Good guy support. iBoy lives. Hung dies.
eStar just doing a very good job at punishing Vici's overstay, trying to finish off the turret. We just talked about bulwark being even stronger than it was before, getting buffed. And now Vici are the ones taking plates for themselves.
eStar's trying to, or Vici rather, trying to defend this with Forge sitting behind. But a couple of plates, you're right, going over to the side of eStar while Forge just has to watch. iBoy will back away, but almost said Atma's Impaler. We've got a first lethality item here. You're going to have to help me. Umbral Glaive. There you go.
You just see how hard it is for them to take this turret with that bulwark.
Yeah.
You don't see 4-man trying to push down 3 plates too often, so.
That's true. Also true. The fact that they match the Rift Herald push is still pretty good here for eStar. While Cube has transitioned to the bottom lane, Wink has gone back to his own lane, and Hung roaming nearby, trying to shadow this Wukong in the early game.
It is pretty interesting, going back to what we said a minute ago of iBoy going towards the lethality Varus when you have a team that really wants to just jump in. Of course, there are Varus with Tahm Kench who can stand back in the fight, but the rest of your team wants to jump in. You would think getting the on-hit build would just be better.
Yeah. But Ix, he's sticking around for the Scuttle Crab. That's the wrong move. Ragnarok is going to have to be used. Hunk saves another life. Chains of Corruption discoordinated here from iBoy. The Wukong goes in once again. Cube gets knocked up number 1. Number 2 comes through as well, but he's kicked back. As good timing there from Xiaoxi with a stopwatch. Wink is hitting from the side. The re-engage, the poke engage, the trade-off here for iBoy. While we're going to fight in the top lane as well. Forge onto Xiaobai. It's chaos here in Game 3.
I was going to say, this game is just breaking out into a brawl. We don't see either team.
Oh, flash forward. Xiaobai ultis, but I don't know what you expect at that point. Forge with a solo kill.
We don't see either teams using their pressures or their advantages aggressively. We just see eStar really trying to contest everything, still being able to mechanically play well enough to find a few picks, but VG coming out ahead off of eStar's over-aggression.
But having said that, Double Dragon now on the side of VG. There's an Ocean Soul coming up as well. And 9 kills, 12 minutes. We've really started this one off to be a banging Game 3. And as the Ocean Rift comes across, it's time to take stock of the game, I think. Well, we talked about Lethality Varus. He's behind in lane by 10 CS against Wink, who's got the Cutlass. While Crying close towards the Trinity Force and having solo lane time. But Xiaoxi wants to ruin that. He's got the Demolish. And Crying's going to get this goal. So at this point, for eStar's matching Vici, in fact, a small lead on the side of the red team.
So for Vici transitioning into this, it's still not exactly mid-game. We're going to be looking out for the pressure that Forge can put up in the side lane with the LeBlanc, since he does win that 1v1 against Crying, and seeing if Hung can hover towards him and give him that pressure from Tahm Kench, but
Will he use Distortion? Way in Crying.
And Hung's hovering towards bot side as Vici were looking to dive Xiaobai, but Xiaobai backed off.
Forge, Sonic Wave, kick, CC, can they get him? Oh, it was close though.
He's LeBlanc.
He is. You know what, it was close. I admire the effort, Mr. Corby.
Again, I would have liked to see Vici play that completely different. Have Hung, have Ix, have iBoy hover for LeBlanc to pressure this side, just kind of leave Wukong and set off to their own devices, but... And Vici almost got punished for not looking for that.
While we have a moment of silence, can we talk a little bit about Wukong builds? Because I know in solo queue to competitive play, that changes quite a lot. The best example is when we first saw Set, and everyone across the world was doing Black Cleaver. Here in the LPL, we did Titanic Hydra. Well, here for Cube, he's got the Kindle Gem. It looks like the start to a Black Cleaver here for the Wukong top. We've seen Trinity Force. We've seen Blade of the Ruined King, actually, built on him in some cases as well.
I'd say the most common build we've seen solo queue is the Trinity Force, which, of course, just gives him more... Ooh. Whoa!
What? Oh, my Lord! That was cool.
That
I
was
don't know what happened,
yeah,
but man, that was cool. Well, I guess Wei wanted to find Forge again, and he just got taken back to the past. And so now backing away, Forge still sits in the side lane.
So, again, we've talked. Vici are now doing what we wanted to see them do. They're having Ikes towards the top side with Forge pressuring the Corki and Hung and iBoy hovering. What you want to do on the side of eStar seems like they just want to farm up for now, but group up as 5, get pressure as a unit, look for those front-to-back team fights with the Corki.
I like that you take... Sorry, no,
we finally get 2 very different comps.
Yeah, I know. We went to the bathroom, and, you know, because it was a long walk. But the point is, you talked about comps. You're like, they're similar comps in Game 2, but this time around, yeah, very different as they've found iBoy and Wei finally comes into fruition. But those chains of corruption, ooh, heal that comes through from Wink saves his life. Now eStar have the pick. They've got the tempo advantage in the mid lane.
Yeah, just great job from eStar doing what we just said. Maybe not grouping up as a 5-man, but coming together as a 4-man, ignoring that side lane, finding the pick, giving them room to breathe, to get more items on top of this Corki, and move into the next team fight in a good position.
And back away should also be for Wink after getting that assist. Yep, Blade of the Ruined King with Dagger in inventory's first item here, while we're looking at a set who's sitting on Blade of the Ruined King as well. That should be coming across pretty soon, while Black Cleaver for the Wukong in Cube has been picked up. But we'll look at this again.
Whoa!
That was nice.
Great play coming out from Wayne. We see Cryan did just leave the top side, made his way down here with all these members here. Very, very good play coming out from eStar to abuse the man advantage.
We don't have
beautiful
time.
mechanics from Wei.
But we don't have time to watch the rest of the replay because Forge is behind Cryan in the mid lane. Valkyrie should still be available while we watch Cube. Infernal Wukong picks up a turret. So, bit more gold here on the top lane. It's Forge. Finally goes in, Cryan, but he can't get the rest of the chain. And Cryan has so much wave clear, but wow. Yeah, lethality virus, just like I remember it.
Doing tons of damage in the early game, of course, poking out Corki from the mid lane. Gonna drop this Herald.
I think this will be mediocre.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I agree with them doing this now. I guess we didn't see the timer on it. Would have been nice to see them wait for Drake to come up, but they probably didn't have the chance.
Wink is going to dart around it. Herald not going to get the full capacity of the turret, and they hold on. iBoy trying to poke them out as they sit there, but Dragon's up in 10 seconds. Forge over the wall onto Wei, seeing what he can get. There's the ult from iBoy. Undertow connects. Ikes wants to go forward, and he finds Shalcy. Okay, tempo back in the advantage of Vici, and they've got a pick in front of the Dragon. Wink is even low. Forge runs forward. Stopwatch used, but iBoy now wants to poke him down for the rest. Xiaobai moving to the mid lane, but they lose control, even with Cryan package.
Shalcy just walking a bit too far forward. Actually, seems like a lot of people on eStar are just walking too far forward.
This is impressive from Forge and iBoy.
Yeah, Vici just doing so good at punishing them with the lethality virus, like you talked about. Forge playing so far up, so well aggressively, and eStar is forced into a very awkward position.
Forge, even though he's spotted out, is going to try and get Xiaobai on the back of it as well, but turret does finally go down. And I know we're talking a lot about like the lethality virus versus the on-hit virus and like how it works within the composition of Wukong. Well, at least in this point in the game, Vici are using it well with Forge, and as a duo, they're kind of kicking butt.
To be fair, the thing that's great about it in this comp is I was talking about how on-hit would be better if they're looking for team fights, but Vici aren't looking for team fights. Vici are playing the 1-3-1, playing to the win conditions of their comp a lot better than I set out for them, and it's looking great so far from Vici.
Well, they're pretty damn strong. I mean, even with the Olaf almost at Black Cleaver, with the 1-item LeBlanc, with the 2-item Varus. iBoy defending here as teleport comes through. Hung flashing forward. Look at that. Triple distortion. Ult from Xiaobai to get the re-engagement. Cube now comes in. Spins to win with double cyclone. That means Shalcy isn't getting out of this one. Double kill over to iBoy. Ikes wants more, but Wei wants to stop him. Hung says, let me taste ya. But he says no. Okay, that's enough. Vici have won the fight.
It's just still consistently weird and funny to see Wukong with the double knockup. A great play coming out from Vici, getting those 2 picks onto the key players for eStar, and now they have all the pressure.
Chains of corruption with poke. Wei gets low, but they can't finish the kill off. Ikes with the undertow to slow them down while Red Buff gets taken down by Cube. But oppressive again, the key word to be used, while Vici now back away from the play.
Yeah, we see Vici doing a really good job of getting pressure in their side lanes and rotating that to mid, looking for these picks and then following it up with consistent poke from Varus and LeBlanc. Here we see Hung make such an aggressive play, also Forge coming in on the backside, but Xiaoxi's the one to ult. We're going to see the knockup coming in from the Wukong. Just all these members dealing damage down onto Xiaoxi, able to finish him off. And you have 3 Drakes and a 2K gold lead for Vici.
With Ocean Soul 2 minutes 50 away, I mean, this is a really decisive early game where, yes, it has been back and forth, but this is the first early game which Vici have actually been in a big gold lead, right? 2,000 gold up on eStars is looking pretty good here for the underdog team.
True, Vici did a really good job at punishing, especially around the mid lane. It is what you'd expect when you draft things like the LeBlanc with the Olaf, having a really strong aggressive 2v2. And Vici have done a good job at translating that pressure kind of into this nice mid-game lead.
Today has been like the day setting up for upsets. First it was DMO against LNG, now it could be Vici,
Whoa.
but eStars have to be careful. iBoy is a menace with the triple serrated Dirk now in inventory. The poke's going to come through, watch it. Xiaoxi doesn't walk into it, good dodge, but Xiaobai now has to join the play as Cube is doing the same.
Cryin just Valkyrie in so aggressively, could have turned out a lot worse had Forge been a little closer with iBoy having the Chains of Corruption up, but still panned out, nothing happened. We've already seen Vici push out their side lanes. They've now grouped up and are going to get Vision together, and they don't really have a composition that can threaten Baron. They're running Lethality Varus with LeBlanc in the mid lane, so it is all about waiting for this next Drake.
Aggressive Chains of Corruption though used, and with the key ultimate down, now what happens? Sonic Wave onto Hung. Fate's Call used here by Wink onto iBoy. They're a moment short until they get the lockdown. Double ult here as Cyclone comes through. Watch Cube. He has another one in the inventory while iBoy gets engaged onto the backside. Cube doesn't know where to go. He ults nowhere, essentially onto Xiaobai in the end. But the big Haymaker buying time as they come back and finally destroy him. Forge is re-engaging though onto Xiaoxi. The lockdown there. Cube ready to re-engage. The poke huge. Watch it. And he's gone. Another double for iBoy.
Cube doing a really good job in that fight, zoning off the backline from eStar, just giving them time to delete Xiaobai, and we see iBoy coming up so big with the poke. Such a different style champion than he's played in the past 2 games.
Different style, yeah, composition in total here for Vici, but they're running over eStar. 4K gold lead now, and 40 seconds until the Ocean Soul is available. And you mentioned Cube here, I saw him as indecisive, but you said it really well.
Yeah, jumps right into the backline. Ikes and Forge especially just getting on top of Wink and killing him. Forge really being the big playmaker in that situation. And here we just see Cube coming back in after zoning off that backline, and they're just able to delete Xiaobai in the end.
I mean, Forge is the person that eStars are so scared of, rightly so.
Forge is showing up so huge in these skirmishes.
In this whole series, right? Forge has been the decision maker with iBoy.
The game on Kassadin.
Game 2 on Forge came close here with the Corki as well. Now Game 3 on the LeBlanc, 2-0 and 4. Morellonomic on the second item. While we look at iBoy, who, again, this series has been pretty damn big. He's got that third serrated Dirk. He's got the Lucidity boots. iBoy also has the ultimate and flash. Every time he hits a Q, it hurts hard. As Ocean Soul is what they're contesting here. Forge over the wall onto Cryin. He gets the half health. Xiaoxi doesn't get the engage. That's a potential 4-man Chains of Corruption. It will get the support of eStar here. He has no point but to engage. Showstopper into the backline. Can Xiaobai find anything with the package there from Cryin? He's low, but in comes Wukong. The Cyclone! Name it! It hurts! It's ruining the side of eStars as they look for their escape. It's Cryin and Way left alive.
And Vici are doing such a great job at controlling Vision and not even letting eStars walk in, abusing them with the poke not only from iBoy, but also from Forge. And once again, they come out with 3 picks. They're going to be able to turn towards the Baron, and Colonel believes.
The Colonel believes that this is Vici Gaming looking to take a series win off of eStar. Only EDG have done it. Only EDG 2-0'd eStars. Now this has gone the distance, but a win is a win, and Vici Gaming are poised to strike here in this series.
And we set up for eStar's comp. They really want to be able to walk into Vici as a formation with Xiaoxi and Xiaobai in front, Cryin being able to comfortably deal damage from the backline, but Forge is so far ahead, he's dealing so much damage. Corki still not at that 2-item power spike that we'd like to see.
And iBoy's looking to 2v2, 2v3. Chains of Corruption's going to miss, but you can see the emphasis that Vici Gaming want to put on fighting. They did it again here, putting Xiaoxi into a corner.
And we just see them doing so well at abusing this Vision, laying down this poke. Like, eStar can't safely walk in. Shousey tries to engage. They need to find a way into this fight. Cryan already low from all of the arrows coming out from iBoy. And again, they just do so much damage at this point, they just deleted all the carries from eStar.
You're looking at 3 items now on iBoy as well after that fight. Ocean Soul was picked up as well. Elder on the horizon with a Baron buff in tow. And Vici have never looked this good. Vici, this split, have never looked this good, but this is some decisive play. They played around with a new style of composition in game number 3, even bringing Wukong, or new Wukong, onto Summoner's Rift.
True, being the first team in a major region to be able to pick up new Wukong, bringing it out. We still don't completely understand it. It did look like he struggled a bit, but playing so well in these team fights, zoning off the backline consistently. And again, Vici as a whole have been playing really well. We've seen Ike's with some great picks. We've seen Forge completely abusing his mobility on this LeBlanc. iBoy on point with the arrows. What can you complain about on the side of Vici?
Now for Vici, all they have to do is end this game. They're 7,000 gold up. They're walking towards the first inhibitor turret. And even Shousey not tanky enough at this point. Here it comes again. iBoy onto Cryan, and the cooldown reduction on the piercing arrow is oppressive as stated before. Forge in the top side, letting this minion do the dirty work, while Vici zoned them out. Here we go again, Chains of Corruption onto the top laner, and Cube can just jump in. The level 14 Wukong confident here as Cryan takes the damage again.
We just see Vici completely abusing their siege tools with this Varus, having Forge threaten in another lane. They're going to be able to turn towards the top lane as a group with those 2 cannons, and it's all about, can eStar find an engage onto Vici and pick them off? But they have Ocean Soul and they're 7k gold ahead.
Best team in the LPL.
Like, look at Ocean Soul. They could just heal right back up.
As soon as iBoy hits, he's back. Vici get the inhibitor turret. Shousey now caught out. The face call to save his life. The Cyclone. First time around stop, but it's already the burst from Forge. Vici on the precipice of making the upset. Cube had 8 seconds, and he used it so well. Vici walking in. eStar's walking out. Way is next to die. The flash forward from iBoy. And look at Wink. No longer the 80 carry. You go back as well.
Vici coming up huge with Koma's leadership. Forge coming into the roster, Ike's in the roster, and it's looking great.
The Nexus exposed, everyone dead. The upset no one expected here today. The first place team rocked by Vici Gaming.